can you talk a little bit about the moment when you found out that you had won?
So Charlie from SoCan called me like 5 times because I was sleeping in, and I did not expect it. She's like, "You won." I'm like, "Won what?" And then she told me the word. I'm like, it felt so unreal. I was like, and then she's like, "Don't tell anyone." I'm like, "Can I tell my mom?" And she's like, yeah, but no one else. And I'm like, okay. So I told my mom, and then she told my kukum, and they were very excited for me, and it was very, very relieving for me that I could finally advance my career and have some security.
One of the most powerful songs I've heard that you've done is Windigo, and I understand that that was the first time you recorded a song when you recorded that.
Yeah, it was my first song. So what I did is that I integrated elements that my godfather taught me when I was a child, how to hunt. So for example, I used a snare, like when you snare a waboos, a rabbit. I used boar hooves that you would, for example, have in a jingle dress originally. And I sampled it and I put it on a loop, and you can hear that in the song. So I would use traditional elements to also make hip hop music, and that was the hybrid that I did.
The myth or the spirit of Windigo is like a bloody, mean-spirited winter spirit.
Yes.
That is also a metaphor for colonization, I assume.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also the effects of colonization that are still present in everywhere, not just indigenous people, but also, for example, in Africa or South America. And there are still these struggles that indigenous people, even in Australia, have to deal with, including addictions, which is what I struggled with, and that's why I'm channeling Nunnabush. And I didn't even know he was there. When I was writing that song, it wasn't me. It wasn't Anachnid the spider. It was the trickster spirit. And he can go by many other names, but that's how I say it. And he was making fun of Windigo, even if he has a little bit of darkness. I think that he's also balanced and teaches us lessons. Whereas Windigo is a very greedy person or spirit that is always hungry. It's never enough. And that's what I was talking to as well. Like, even if you colonized us, Windigo, it doesn't mean that you can have my soul or my spirit. It can be interpreted in many ways, you know. It can be interpreted in a personal way with addictions. For example, I say, yes, I drink and yes, I smoke and I love to lose control, you know. But I say, it doesn't mean that it's going to stereotype me, because then I say, fuck your system, fuck your law. Watch me pull up with my squad, which is the tribes. My tribe is very mixed culturally, so I'm not really, I'm just expressing my anger. I'm aware that Canada is a multicultural country, and I appreciate it for what it is.
Can you talk a little bit about your songwriting process when you're actually inside of it and writing, creating lyrics, creating sound? Put us in the room. What's that like for you?
So it all depends about how I feel that day, and I'm gonna write on the spot. I usually write on the spot. I also dream about my songs, and at 3 a.m. I'm like, oh, should I continue sleeping? And I'm like, no, record it, then go back to bed. And I hear the song, I like sound half asleep, but then after I go see my friend and co-producer Emmanuel Alias, and I'm like, this is gonna be the melody, and then after we just build it in 3 hours, and boom, it's ready. Yeah, that's how we do it.